On today's video, we're going to explore Ruskin, Florida. We're going to take a look at some homeless camps. I'm going to show you guys what the local food scene looks like here. Despite the fact that I'm walking with a cane, I'm going to stumble myself into a homeless camp because this pickup truck needs to get paid and our bills have to get paid, so we have to work. All right, guys, so we are in Ruskin, Florida, which is right on the outskirts of Tampa. With a cane like I am right now is a lot more dangerous because, well, as you would imagine, you can't run. If something were to go wrong, and these places are very dangerous. I've had to run from homeless camps before. But right off the highway here, already we are seeing that we are in a homeless camp already. You'll find the darnest things in these homeless camps right off the bat, guys. But it's crazy how it wasn't that hard to find this homeless camp. I mean, we just got off at a random exit on 75, and here we are in a homeless camp already. Typical homeless camp, you have bicycle tires. Got some clothing items right here. This is clearly a bed for somebody. You know, I think now that I'm in a cane, how difficult it must be for the homeless people that are disabled and they have to live in these woods. I mean, you know, when you think about homelessness and a lot of homeless people being disabled, imagine how vulnerable these people are. If you're back here, you're disabled. A great percentage of the homeless people we meet are disabled. Imagine being back here in these woods in a wheelchair, disabled, and having to live in a place like this. There's clearly people living back here. We're looking at clothing items here. This is a well traversed trail here. This is going to be a big homeless camp. It's going to be a huge camp. I can already see it. This is going to be a huge camp. There's going to be a lot of people back here. But just think about, you know, being disabled, not being able to move too well, being in a wheelchair, and then having to live in these woods. I'm already out of breath. Before I got hurt, I was doing these homeless camp videos, and they're very dangerous videos. This is going to be a whole city back here, pretty much. You can see there's stuff scattered all through here. And it's going to be practically a city back in here more than anything. It's a huge camp. There's going to be people here for sure. Let's get back in here and see what we could do. Clearly, it's like a whole city in here. And this is all over the Tampa metro area, in every direction. But this is like a whole city here. This is a huge encampment. Huge encampment. This is like a city back here. Sometimes they're very friendly, other times they're very hostile. So, and the fact that I'm walking with a cane means I cannot move very well. This person's here is collecting water jugs. This is basically a city back here, guys. Take a look at this. It is practically an entire city in the woods. This is crazy. Right outside of Tampa, Florida. Practically an entire city in the woods. Crazy stuff. So they're collecting water bottles, barbecue grills. I mean, this is I've seen a lot of homeless camps, but it never ceases to amaze you that in the United States of America, the world's greatest country, something like this could exist. You know, we're in Tampa, Florida. You got Brandon here. You got a bunch of fast-growing suburbs. Yet, despite these fast-growing suburbs, you know, right in the middle of it all, you have something like this. It is crazy. Right on the outskirts of Tampa, guys. Being with this cane has been the most difficult challenge of my life. Now I am literally 5 months into being in this condition, and a lot of things that I used to do I can't. Luckily, you can hear the cars in the background. This camp is literally right by the road. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to get in here. Some of the most elaborate homeless camps are going to be miles away from the road. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to get in here. Some of the most elaborate homeless camps are going to be miles away from the road. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to get in here. miles in. I mean miles. So you have to walk half a mile through the woods to get to them. So I haven't been able to do that anymore. But this one, as you can hear the cars, this camp is really right by the road. It's crazy. This person's collecting water jugs for some reason. I am just swarming with mosquitoes. It's unbelievable. So here's our first actual tent. I don't know how many people live back here, but this is our first actual tent. So you can see most likely this is occupied, which means if somebody lives here and they see us back here, we could definitely be in a world of trouble. This is their home. They don't own the land, but they consider it their home. And with this cane, we're not able to move too quick. So I've done a lot of these homeless camps, but this one feels the most dangerous out of all the videos I've done, simply because my mobility is limited. This one is inhabited. You can see that they're burning tree debris here. There's a lot of food here, bars of soap. You can see they have fresh water, shoes, clothing, mosquito spray, shampoo, mouthwash, different types of mouthwash. There is a spray paint can, which means they could be huffing. No, it's a bug spray. Okay, my bad. You can see they're putting their urine in a bottle right there to keep the air from stinking up, but this is somebody's house. Literally, there could be somebody in there right now sleeping or hearing us, and we wouldn't know, or don't know if there's somebody in there or not. But regardless, this is the United States of America. This is insane that people have to live like. Many times when we approach these homeless camps, they've already seen us, but they're hiding, just watching what we're doing, seeing if we're trying to steal anything or whatever. So while I don't see nobody here, that doesn't mean there isn't somebody watching us right now, hiding in the background. Chances are somebody knows we're here. Okay, so you can see there's urine in a bottle there. I don't think there's anybody here, but we'll see. Through the translucent, there might be somebody in there. The mosquitoes are absolutely unbearable. To be in here is just insane. I'm just swarming with mosquitoes right now, and this is wild. One of the craziest things I think about these homeless camps is how much land they actually use up. You can see they have cockroach spray. That's probably for washing right there, a rag. I see work boots and work clothes. So this is a pretty large camp. I don't know how many people are living here, but it always fascinates me how much space these homeless people occupy. I mean, this is literally an acre of garbage in this property. It's going to cost the property owner a lot of money to clean this up. Definitely the property owner will pay a large amount of money to get this property cleaned up. And for the most part, I don't know how many people are living back here, but they're occupying maybe 3 or 4 people. I don't know. But they're occupying a good deal of an acre. Most of it's just garbage. It's crazy. It really is crazy. And again, we are swarming with mosquitoes right now. In here, there's going to be ticks, bed bugs, mosquitoes. If it's bad and harmful, it is in here. And of course, as usual, lots of shoes everywhere, lots of clothing articles. Of course, they always get wet and dirty, so they go through a lot of shoes. So far, this homeless camp doesn't seem to have a lot of needles and signs of addiction, but we'll usually find that these homeless camps are littered with paraphernalia. There's a garbage pile over here. Let's take a look at that. What I find interesting about this camp is just how it's, they've obviously worked the land to clear it. A lot of business and industry, which allows easy access to a lot of stuff. You can see they put a carpet down here. Again, they're peeing in the bottles to keep the smell from becoming a problem. That's probably why they have all those bottles. You can see there's a bottle there with urine in it. So they seem to have some type of order to this homeless camp to ensure that it doesn't get too smelly. But look at this. This is a garbage pit here. And this is a very established homeless camp. You can see they have wood for burning fires. So this is a really big camp, and I'm going to think this time of day they're going to be out and about, working or, you know, whatever they do in the daytime, just come back here at night. And these sites, no matter how many of these sites you see, they always seem to amaze you. In other words, it never quite gets old to see these homeless camps. Assortment of items. We have a baseball, a hat, an American flag, a mop, several baseballs actually, if you look around closely. The more you see, the more you discover. It's like finding Waldo. Now here we have a few butane tanks. There's a little bit of alcohol here. It's not ridiculous amounts of alcohol, but there's alcohol bottles, which I've always thought if you were homeless, the last thing you would be doing is drinking. If I was homeless, it would not be on the top of my priorities to be drinking. But there's pill bottles and alcohol bottles, which again, if you're homeless, why are you spending your money on that? And then there's items like this that you're just like, what is this? I've never seen this before. I have no idea what this item is. It's a strange item, and I'm afraid to touch it because, again, I don't know what it is. But yeah, there's some interesting items out here. More flags. Seems to be a lot of recycling and sorting here. You got some aluminum cans. They could probably scrap that for a few bucks. Some plastic bottles, which I think they're using for collecting water and for showering and stuff like that. So they're trying to keep up. But again, everywhere you look, here's alcohol there. Red Bull. That could be a needle cap, but it's not. Alcohol there. Assortment of toys. You always find toys in these places. You can see a little toy right there. There's a lot of toys. I don't really understand what the connection is with these homeless camps, but they always seem to have the same items over and over again. It's patterns of repetition. And I'm in a lot of pain right now. Boy, I am just, I don't know how I got this far. And now I'm covered in mosquitoes, but I'm doing it. There's another more elaborate homeless camp back here. And there's gonna be several back here. This one, my experience with homeless camps is the farther back you go, the more dangerous they become because you're further from the road. And with a cane, I don't think I can get back there too quickly. So, I guess if I had to scramble, I'm not sure what the crap I would do. But this is an active camp here. You can see there's maybe 2 camps here. This one is definitely active. The further back you go, my experience is the more hostile they are, the further they're wanting to be. So I think there's definitely people here. I can see the tent moving. Let's see if we can approach here. And again, we're just south of Tampa metropolitan area. This is just filthy, unbelievable. Hello. Hello, just coming through. Hey, buddy. Sorry, man. I'm just a documentary filmmaker, buddy. I'm not going to show your face or anything. I'm just coming through. Don't mind me, all right, buddy? All right, man. Is this the last camp heading this way, or that's it? All right, buddy. You have a great day, man. I'm out. So, it's just outside of Tampa. There are people in this camp, so we're going to keep it moving. There are definitely people right there, and normally I engage them and stuff, but the condition I'm in right now, I think it's time to go for real. I don't want any trouble. I think it is time for us to get up out of here. The last thing I want to do is have run-ins with people and not be able to run. But it's been what, 5 months, guys, since I got hurt. And I love what I do. You know, I would get in here and interview people, but you know, with this freaking cane, it makes it extra scary for me. One of the greatest assets that I have is that I'm a 280-pound big dude. I got a good body, and I'm strong. Was strong, or am still strong, not sure. But with all that being said, I never felt this vulnerable my whole life, being in a place like this with a cane. But I love what I do for you guys. I can't say I don't love what I do, because I do. See more alcohol bottles. But it's interesting that the assortment of items you find in these homeless camps is almost the same. Lots of flags. Lots of kids' toys, which out of all the things you could drag into a homeless camp, why do those things always seem to be more propense to end up inside of a homeless camp? There's a spray paint can right there, which a lot of times they'll use for huffing when they can't get a hold of anything else. Absolutely covered in mosquitoes. More American flags. You see what I'm saying? It's weird, like the assortment of things that end up in homeless camps is always the same. You always have kids' toys. You can see some kids' toys here. More flags. Baseballs are a first for me. Bicycle tires. It's a pattern of lifestyles, really, that you just see repeated over and over again. Not sure what this thing is, but it looks like there's an oil inside of it. Some type of vape. Guys, believe it or not, somebody lives here in the woods. There's a mattress, there's some tarps, there's a fresh vape pen there. They got their little beer can collection here that they can sell for scrap metal. And this is, in all context, somebody's home. Pill bottles. You can see a pill bottle right there. Orange pill bottle. It's just the same patterns all over and over again. Doesn't really seem to change. And well, the scariest part about my little cane situation for being in these homeless camps is that, you know, these people are mostly high, drunk, mentally ill, and completely unpredictable. And if I were to run into somebody that was hostile, the only thing I got to beat him upside the head with is my cane. A lot of people ask me if I carry when I go into these homeless camps. And guys, the answer is no, I do not carry. Let me explain to you why. If a cop came here and tried to arrest me for being in here, I could hire a lawyer and I could fight that off. But if I'm trespassing with a weapon, well, that definitely changes the legality of what I'm doing. Nothing exactly gonna get me arrested for being in here right now, but if I'm trespassing with a weapon, that's a little bit more complicated. Now, interestingly enough, I've never ran into law enforcement inside of a homeless camp. I've ran into a lot of crimes in these homeless camps. I've never ran into law enforcement inside these homeless camps. But if I did, I can almost assure you that they would search you. And if they search you and you had a weapon while trespassing, well, that just changes the whole dynamic of the situation. So when I lived in Alabama, I knew of homeless camps, but Alabama's got different trespassing laws, and in the state of Florida, I can do this. Now, the state of Florida's tried to pass some new laws to prevent people from doing exactly what I'm doing right now. But unconstitutional, they can't do it. All right, guys, so this is a homeless camp in Ruskin, right outside of Tampa. Kind of ironic, little sticky thingies. Yeah. Mosquito bites on my face.
I see one big one right here.
You should record it, show it.
Yeah, I'm showing it.
See it?
Right there.
I got an even bigger one on this side. I'm just like
oh my
warm,
gosh.
dude.
We gotta get you some Bronco if you're gonna do this.
Look at this one right there, look right there.
Oh.
Dude, unbelievable how many mosquitoes. I got chewed up in there, man.
You gotta be more geared up if you're gonna do this. I know you weren't planning to.
The car turned off. I hate this feature. You can keep recording. I hate this feature of this car. It just turns off. Hopefully we don't get stuck here. Let's see if
we got 4x4.
Yeah, but it's slippery and down the slope.
Yeah.
Dude, that was insane. There were so many mosquitoes. Look, I was just like...
I'm sure.
There's people in there, yeah. There's like at least 2 dudes inside a tent. Mm-hmm. 1 or 2 dudes inside a tent. And I just said, hey, I'm just a journalist, you know, I'm just doing my job. He didn't really care. Okay. But dude, you go inside. The good thing is it's right there. It's not like I'm right into the woods. It's right there.
Yeah.
But really, we literally got off here at this first exit, and that's like the first thing you encounter. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh, look over there.
What happened?
Bird crossing the road. One of those big egrets crossing the road. Yeah. The Carter brothers.
One of the Carters, what's his name, Aaron? Was it Aaron?
Aaron
Carter was the one that died?
Yes.
We did the video here, and we did a lot of Aaron Carter jokes, and like a week later, he died.
Less than that.
Like a few days later, he died, so it felt really weird.
Yeah, so we kind of took down the video.
Yeah, we took down the video because it was weird. It was like we did this video making fun of the guy, and 3 days later, he dies.
It was weird.
But I got on the steering wheel. No. There's one of those little things on the steering wheel.
Yeah.
The little. How did it get on the steering wheel?
I don't know. It's one of those things.
What the crap? How did it get on the steering wheel?
I don't know.
And it's fluffy, so it's like in there. You know?
It's fluffy. Are you sure it's a little fluffy?
Yeah, look right there. Look.
I can't see
It's
it.
right here. It's like it's in there. It's like.
I'll get it later.
This guy's trying to rush me. I'm not gonna go into this.
No me estáis
I hate the
agitando.
traffic in this part of freaking Tampa, bro.
I know, right?
Look, it's like in the steering wheel. There it is. Look. Little
Little.
sticky things. It was like in the steering wheel. What the crap?
Yeah.
I hate the traffic out here. 4
Yeah.
o'clock. Let me see if I get a chance to go. Mosquitoes are the real, sometimes there's ticks, there's bed bugs. Okay, okay.
Yeah, good.
All right. So yeah, we did the video here in Ruskin, and as soon as we did the video, he died. I'm gonna be guessing there's gonna be homeless camps in there as well.
Yeah.
Right there, there's definitely gonna be more homeless
I
camps
think you've done enough for.
for one day.
I think you've done enough for a month.
Yeah, no, but I have to. Like,
I know.
Look at that, it's so cool. Look, it's like an abandoned gas station with like old school cars. All right, guys. So on that side of the road, you can see there's a new building going up over there. And right across the street, this looks like an abandoned gas station. Oh, I'm having like spasms. That is so cool. Underneath the car, they've stuck some of the signs to preserve them. But I'm gonna guess there's homeless people living around the back of this gas station for a fact. There is a toilet here on the outside, covered in mosquito bites. So as we know, the Tampa area has a huge food scene. This place here claims to have the best Cuban sandwich. Take a look at how cool the outside of this little business is. They claim to have the best Cuban sandwich, and I'm tempted to find out even though I'm not hungry. I have to say, this is some of the nicest branding I've seen, at least. This is a really cool looking building. I have a photo of a giant Cuban sandwich up here. I know sandwich like that. Café con leche, Cuban coffee, the fuel of Florida. Not sure I can do that. So this is Ruskin, Florida, and as you can see, it is just filthy. People just literally dump garbage everywhere. They have these no littering and no dumping signs, but they're not doing any effect. Because people are just dumping here like crazy. I mean, I had heard Ruskin was bad, but you really got to go off into the side streets to see this stuff. And there are signs everywhere saying no littering or dumping, but they don't work. There's like a little creek here, and it's even got flowing water, but it is just covered. I mean, covered with litter. The creek is just completely contaminated. Only thing beautiful out here is mi troca perrona, todo eso sí está perrona. Gotta be real careful. Looks like there's like a sinkhole right here. Literally, yep. There's a sinkhole. Either that or a gopher tortoise dug a hole underneath the road, one of the two. It's either a sinkhole or a gopher tortoise, but as you can see, what the crap is going on in Ruskin? But boy, is my truck pretty. Look at that Silverado right there. I tell you what, it's a brand new Silverado. I tell you what, you get that truck down there. It's a lot of abandoned properties and just garbage everywhere. It's like, dude, everywhere you look. Like, here's a beer can right here. Here's a beer can right here. There's 2 beer cans right here. There's another beer can right here. And here's another beer can right here. I guess people just come here to drink, I guess? I'm not sure. It's like it's some Moon Lakes looking type of place. Rancho Molina. Un saludo a la familia Molina, los grandes Molinas, trabajadores, emprendedores, gente de familia, la gran familia Molina y su rancho increíble. It's supposed to be like a trailer park in here, but I don't know if you can go into it or not. Yeah, I would just keep going. Yeah, there's like people outside talking on the phone. That definitely looks sketchy up in there. Oh, yeah, they're screaming at us. Is he screaming at us for recording? Yeah, he's screaming at us for recording. Definitely sketchy.
Should I get out of here?
Just keep going straight. Make sure they don't follow you. He's screaming at us for recording. Not cool at all. Definitely sketchy. Keep going straight.
Yeah, but I gotta
Make
make
sure-
sure
yeah.
nobody's coming.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Make sure that they're not following us.
Yeah.
Dude, look how bad these roads are. It's like pothole after pothole. It looks super sketchy up in here. That car's just pulled in backwards.
I got a car for it.
Okay, they got a car park. Cool, okay. Super sketchy looking area. In fact, I'm gonna keep the camera on the mount so they can't notice that I'm recording, because it definitely feels sketchy back in here, and there's people
Yeah.
like screaming at us for recording. So if the camera's on the mount, then nobody can see that I'm recording.
Yeah.
It's kind of a more,
This
you can tell it's pretty like, kind of like really run down. This is definitely like some like backwoods looking place. It's definitely interesting back here. Definitely something else. Just working class people, but it's definitely a poor area. Serious potholes, man.
tiny house village over there.
Yeah. That's great because you got these trailers like building new houses across the street. What do you think about that food we had? It was okay. Yeah, little places like this will always have the best Mexican food. Looks about right. This like reminds me of LaBelle or Arcadia or something. Look at that Silverado. It's just sitting there. Man, I put 2 toes on that thing. See, they actually have panhandlers out in the middle of the road here. And keep in mind, this is a small town. Ruskin's just a small little town, but there's a huge homeless problem. You can see there's people panhandling here. You can see they're building new communities left and right, but at the same time, it's like a contrast there where you have all these new communities, but then you also have homeless people. It's very much of a contrast area where, you know, on one side of the road you got all these new houses going in, and on the other side of the road you have like mobile homes and stuff. So it's very, very much a contrast area. So for now, guys, I'm gonna do videos here in the Tampa metropolitan area in Southwest Florida. No road trips for now. I know you guys want me to be doing road trips, but really it's not going to happen, at least not for a long time. So I'm not really good enough to travel like I used to. So we're just gonna do little videos when I feel like I can do something. I go out and do a video in Southwest Florida, but actually going on the road like we used to, long cross-country road trips, that's going to be on hold for a while. So for now, I'll do what I can to keep the YouTube channel going, making it fun and awesome like always. It really hurts me because I've given you guys my everything over the last 2 years, and it really is frustrating that I'm dealing with this really crappy health situation right now. That's St. Pete over there. St. Petersburg on the other side.